So this week I want to do a series on fatigue for you guys. And I want to start by sharing my personal experience with fatigue. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I was definitely at a 10 on the fatigue level. So my fatigue was so bad that I was having to take naps throughout the day. At work, I would have to go to my car and snooze. I actually got the windows tinted on my car for this exact reason, so I could get away with it. Frequently, while I was driving, I would be nodding off. I would have to slap myself in the face, stick my head out the window, crank up my music. I heard that eating, you can't fall asleep while you're eating, so I'd be eating while I was driving, even when I wasn't hungry. Literally trying everything to stay awake. I was canceling meetings all the time because I was just too dead and depleted. And my breaking point was really, I was on my way to a meeting. I was already running late and I was so tired. I pulled into a Dollar General parking lot. I whipped my seat back, set my alarm for 2 minutes, and immediately crashed. And I woke up 2 minutes later, went to my meeting, even more late. Sorry. So you could see how this would be interfering with my career, with my self-esteem. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? My relationships, I had zero energy for the essentials, much less, extracurriculars. My school, I was trying to get my master's degree at the time, and I was just like barely getting by. I was relying so heavily on caffeine, which was stressing out my adrenals even more, and really compounding the problem. And my body was screaming out for help. It was at the point where I couldn't ignore it any longer. And so I went to a psychiatrist, and I knew exactly what was gonna happen. I went and I told them how tired I was, and he gave me a stimulant, adderall. And this was the only thing in my frame of reference at the time. I wasn't really aware that it could have been my birth control or my diet or my messed up priorities that were causing these problems for me. Instead, I was looking for an easy Band-Aid solution. And sure, it kept me awake, but it definitely created a lot more problems for me than it solved. So what I learned was that the birth control, I had been on it for about a decade at this point, and that had been chronically depleting my vitamins and nutrients and compromising my gut and my liver during this period. And it was compounding over the years until it reached this breaking point. On top of that, I started taking a stimulant, which is a diuretic. And this caused me to lose even more vitamins and nutrients. So I would be feeling really icky about being on it. And so I would be really determined to get off of it. But I would stop taking it, and my body was so depleted that I would feel like I literally got hit by a train. And so I'd have to go back to it again if I really wanted to get anything done at all. And it was a cycle, and it was horrible, and I felt so bad about it. Even though I was staying awake now, I still just had this voice in my head that was telling me that it wasn't good for me. And had I stayed on this path, I probably would be on 5 to 10 medications by now, because that's how our modern medical system works. They don't get to the root cause of your problems, which was me being depleted in vital minerals and nutrients from these medications, which ends up creating side effects. And you go to a doctor or a specialist, and then they put you on another medication to help alleviate or manage these symptoms. And then that medication will create more side effects. And this cycle will repeat itself over and over and over again. And again, it's the compound effect of these medications over time. There is no biological free ride. So anything that is acting on our natural brain chemistry, our hormones, eventually it's going to come back to bite us. And it's not sustainable at all. And it doesn't feel good, I know I did not feel like myself. I felt like a freaking zombie. I felt like a robot zombie when I was on these things. It was horrible. And I didn't know any other way. I felt trapped until one day I said, fuck this modern medical system. It's not helping me. It doesn't have my best interests at heart. And I'm going to trust my intuition, which was very quiet at the time because of these medications. It was barely a faint whisper. But when I stopped and sat with myself for long enough to find out what I really needed, I knew what I needed was to let go of these things, these crutches that were helping me just get by. That was it. I was just getting by. I was a tiny sliver of myself at that point. And when I let go of these crutches and started nourishing my body with the right foods, got my priorities straight and started prioritizing quality sleep, and really started to dive into the research of natural, holistic medicine and learning how to heal myself, everything changed. And what I thought was it's better than I could have ever imagined. And my clients have this realization too. They can't believe it. They can't believe they wake up with energy and they go to sleep still with energy, but not that wired but tired feeling that keeps us up. But like from the time they wake up, through dinner until we're starting to wind down, we have unlimited energy. And it's beautiful. And we don't need caffeine. And because we're not on stimulants, we're sleeping better. And our bodies are doing what they're designed to do. And they're not interrupted by all of these toxins and medications and inflammation and bullshit. So this week, I'm going to dive into some of the common causes of nutrient depletions. Why we are feeling so depleted, our energy is so depleted. It's because we are not eating the right foods and we are not taking care of ourselves. So I hope my story resonates with you. I hope you're not going through what I was going through, but if you are, then I am here to tell you that there is a light at the end of this dark tunnel. And you have to trust yourself. I stayed on those medications as long as I did out of fear. But I overcame that fear and changed my life for the better once I gained knowledge and understanding and started listening to myself and my body. Because nobody knows what you need better than you. And that is just a fact. You can be your own doctor. You should be your own doctor. And I am here to help you on this journey. So stay tuned this week for my videos on really helping you overcome this fatigue and get to the root of it rather than just masking it.